This is Kelly Wright at the Money Show in Orlando. Joining me, Mr. Omar Ayales, goldchartrus.net.
That's right.
Good. There we go. You guys should check out this guy's work. He does very, very good. So, Omar,
Thank you.
we've got a rampaging bull market. Stocks, bonds, you name it, pretty much across the board.
See everything rise.
Everything. I mean, this has been one of the most powerful moves I've seen in many, many, many years, maybe probably decades. So the question is, do trees grow to the sky?
Well, we'll see. If these trees were sown with from Jack Magic Beanstalk.
Yeah.
But absolutely, there has to be an end in sight. To this crazed bull market in stocks, but crazed. It's been a 10-year long bull market.
It has. Mm-hmm.
But many people talk about it, how it's risen to levels and in time that has never been seen before. But really, I think that it still has room to rise further. I mean, melt up rise. What are you seeing in this?
I've gotten to the point, Omar, where I think we left the bounds of rationality and logic a long time ago. So I think it was Marty Weiss years and years and years ago wrote in a book, don't fight the Fed. And I just think because you've got a concerted effort among all the central banks to keep interest rates low and to provide liquidity, it just dwarfs anything the market can do. And so it's like a surfboard on a really long wave. You just kind of got to get on the wave and ride and hold on. And then hopefully right before you see the reef, you can
you can bounce out.
Yeah, and that's the tough part is timing.
Yeah.
Timing is, if we could all time, we would all be fabulously wealthy. So, but in your work though, basically what you're most concerned about is preservation of capital, but you also want growth of capital.
Absolutely.
But how do you get income in your work?
How so? Do you mean? Meaning?
Well, gold, I know that it's a preservation capital, so it's a store of value.
It doesn't produce a yield.
It doesn't produce a yield, yes.
Okay, but you know what's something very interesting actually to that effect? It might not produce a yield, Kelly, but first of all, you can lease it, depending on your situation. If you have bullion and what you have, you can lease it. Or, right now, something very interesting is happening. When you actually subtract the rate of interest of a 90-day T-bill with, say, the purchasers, the PCE, Purchasers Consumer Expenditures Index, okay, you actually get a negative number. That tells me that real rates, even though the rate is positive right now,
real rates are negative.
Real rates are negative.
Yeah.
And like that in itself, even though that's a hidden cost on if you have money in a bond, that it's a 10-year bond, paying you of 1.6 or whatever it's paying today, because you're basically getting zero, even though you are getting like something. And so what is the difference really with gold? Gold will not eat at your capital that way, right? In the longer term, in the longer scheme of things, of course.
So what do you think then? But there are mining stocks that do pay dividends.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can buy a miner and get income as well as capital appreciation. Are there some names that you like in particular?
Absolutely. And one of the things that we've been telling our subscriber base is that because the secular bull market in gold is so strong for the next 5-6 years, I see an up move in gold that is very strong. You don't necessarily need to go and buy junior or very speculative positions. Stick with the big names, like the Anico Eagles. AEM is what company we like a lot.
Okay.
We like Kirkland Lake Gold, which is KL. I like them a lot.
Okay.
I like silver a lot also. Silver tends to outperform gold in bull markets. I like, for example, Hecla Mining.
Okay.
I like Silver Corp Metals. That's HL for Hecla, and Silver Corp Metals, SVM. Had a big fall on Friday, unfortunately, but I think that's also going to prove to be a good buying opportunity.
Okay, that's a good entry point. It's not ABX anymore. I think it's now GOLD.
Barrick,
yeah. So what's going on with them? I mean, they used to have a phenomenal dividend. Do they still?
Well, Barrick is, probably the largest miner in the world,
Okay.
or if not the second largest. They do pay a dividend, but it's interesting because dividends on mining companies, even though there's some, they do pay something, it has never really necessarily been a very big dividend. Barrick, because it's the biggest producer and probably is the better established, is the one where investors, whenever the space is getting a lot of demand and a lot of love, is usually where investors tend to go first.
Okay.
And that in itself is always a good indication of sentiment, actually, for the entire sector. But Barrick is a great company, or GOLD. Okay, and we tend to stay with others that have a little bit more upside, that have production costs that are a bit lower than Barrick. But Barrick is definitely a great company.
Okay. How many stocks do you usually recommend for a portfolio? For, say, someone, an investor says, I'm going to dedicate X amount of percent of my portfolio to metals. Okay. On average, how many stocks would you recommend to diversify properly?
Well, I try to keep also a nimble portfolio. I don't like to have too many positions.
Nimble's a good word.
Okay.
Yes.
And but still about 5 or 6 positions, gold shares in my precious metals portfolio. And when I say gold shares, I really mean it could be gold or a silver share. Eventually I could include another precious metal producer, but mainly gold and silver shares.
There you go.
About 5 or 6, and then of course the metal itself and silver itself. So, but it's going to ultimately depend on what percentage of your portfolio you're allocating to this space also.
Okay. He's Omar Ayales. It is goldchartsrs.net. See, I'm getting good at that. All right. You need to go on there. You need to check it out. This guy can help you out. I'm Kelly Wright at The Money Show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Kelly.